Okay, folks, we're getting close into this next game. I believe it. So this is actually random versus random, not ZVZ. That's right. So everything I said about the ZVZ matchup isn't quite as related, unless we get a ZVZ, which is totally possible. We'll find out. The countdown has finished. We're getting into the loading screen. So there's not too much I can say about this matchup until we actually get into the map, but just talking about the map itself, I guess the third base is kind of weird to take. We see most of the time people take that one on the kind of in the corner, but it's really wide open because you have to go down the ramp and then kind of back into the fence, so you can kind of make yourself vulnerable in trying to defend that. But we are in, folks. Check it out. So it looks like we have a PVT on our hands, guys, and yeah, let's just do it. Spawning in on the bottom right-hand side, getting Protoss. His name is Freedom. Oh, yeah. Looking good in blue. Yeah, I'm liking it. So, we'll see. I haven't seen Freedom ever play Protoss before. We've only seen him do Zerg, so it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do. Nailing that pylon, though, going out there. He doesn't know what he's up against, so putting it at the wall, pretty smart, just in case he's up against a Zerg. But that is not what he's up against, because KenjiMuyo, random as well. He actually plays random, and yeah, he's going to be our Terran player. KenjiMuyo. So we're starting to see, obviously, very standard builds coming out here. No SCVs running across the map to build their shenanigan barracks, and we should see that first gateway coming out here by Freedom, unless he decides to do like a Nexus first, which is totally possible. We might even be seeing that with another Chrono Boost going down if he just keeps building workers. Again, this map is kind of built for it. You have a very safe third base, totally possible to take. So one of the things about this map, it is a 4-player map, and you can spawn at any of the locations. So what we're seeing is actually Kenji going ahead and scouting in the complete wrong direction. He's going clockwise, whereas if he'd gone counterclockwise, he would have gotten into Freedom space very, very quickly, almost instantly. Anyways, we have that gateway going down as well as the assimilator, and looks like we're just going to have a pretty standard gateway expand. Whoa, an interesting spot to put this pylon, but I kind of like it. Hiding it in plain sight, right? Hello there, Chris Joseph. Shouting out for Ken, cheering for him. Thanks for checking out the stream. Glad to have you. Anyways, KenjiMuyo, and actually we're also seeing Freedom is scouting the wrong direction too. Going to be taking the counterclockwise direction. Maybe their workers will kiss and they can kind of infer on where they're at. For Kenji, it's a very simple equation here, that his opponent's in the opposite and is in the only one place that he can be. So we're seeing Freedom actually going in, just checking to see if there's any buildings to the front. He sees no buildings, and looks like he's reversing the actual direction of his probe. So he might be aware of the fact that it's too late. There's no point in scouting, but oh, there he goes. Still sending it out, maybe to the watchtower. A little indecisive here with that probe. And here's the thing, that Nexus go down before. Wow, that's a pretty quick Nexus here, I have to admit, coming down before Cybernetics Core finishes. So no Zealot going to be used to come out and defend here. Even though should be able to get that. Yep, there we go. We see the Stalker beginning out, and we're having that factory coming out here for Kenji. So playing it pretty protective, and we have no command center here. So we're not actually going to be seeing any sort of economic play. Not playing the map's advantage is going to be trying to maybe play against Freedom, expecting him to be a bit greedy, and hopefully catch him off guard with what, again, I'm going to assume is Widow Mines. But, you know, could be Hellions. Or it could just be going straight up to, like, Banshee play or something. Or we're seeing that reactor come out. So we could see, like, a Hellion drop to try and, again, abuse the potential greediness. We're seeing that Reaper come in, getting a good scout off. So Kenji's completely aware of what Freedom's got. That Reaper is going to get... No, trounce. That's right. There's no way out. There's no escape. Nothing else is coming out of the gateway here. We see Warp Gate now just beginning. I'm curious to see what Freedom's going to decide to go for tech-wise. We're seeing a good amount of gas building up. Another gateway goes down. I'm a bit curious. Anyways, that factory is just now finished. We're just going to see it lift, or we're going to see something actually get produced here out of the factory, because now that the starport's done. Alright, so you start seeing one single starport come out. Looking at the gas for Kenji, he doesn't actually have enough for a ton of a ton of Widow Mines, but doesn't actually have a lot for Hellions either, so I'll be curious to see what he chooses to build. Anyways, the cannon's coming down on that bunker, and this Mothership Core and Stalker are actually going to be able to probably take down the supply depot if nothing gets pulled off to repair. That single SUV getting targeted down really quickly, so what, is that 2 kills now? And this is turning out to be extremely effective here for Kenji, or for Freedom here. Extremely bad for Kenji. Saying there's no sound. I hope that's not true. I'll have to check that out in just a moment afterwards. Anyways, the medevac is now out. Hopefully can try and repel this Mothership Core, but again, they're picking it off from really far away. This is really tough to defend if you don't have the proper units out. And again, this is what I was talking about. There's no barracks here. He's playing it kind of greedy. He was hoping to just try and get this attack off. We have Widow Mines coming out, but I don't think he had enough gas to get those out started right away. So those are coming out a bit late because he wanted to get the medevac out immediately. He built that bunker, but now it's being salvaged because it really didn't do much. One of the cool things about the bunker is that it does provide 1 extra range, so units inside there actually do get a bit of advantage against trying to defend against that, but I just don't think it was close in general. Stargate's coming out, and more gateways are being added in by Freedom. If you look at the income tab, we're starting to see the pros really take ahead, or take a lead with Chrono Boost and that second base. We're seeing that drop come in with the Widow Mines. 1 Widow Mine goes down. I don't know if Freedom has noticed it quite yet, and he pulls away. He's gonna just go ahead and sacrifice one worker. Production-wise, though, I don't see any actual form of detection. Oh my God! Don't make me, don't make me scream like that, Freedom. There are too many probes about to go to that nearly activated Widow Mine for a moment. Anyways, both of the Widow Mines are kind of sitting in their own deal, doing their thing. A Forge comes down. We're seeing the Oracle come out. That's kind of the smart response, but unfortunately, both Widow Mines are separated. So one is definitely going to get a second shot off. I'm curious to see if this other one will get to fire again. We're seeing Freedom just move away the workers. Anyways, that's pretty smart. You know what? This could be really tough. If this Oracle, he's sending it the right way and he activated it anyway. So this is all good. Well defended here by Freedom against the Widow Mine shenaniganry. It should go down hopefully before the next attack. Although it is recharging. There we go. Now let's go ahead and focus on our Terran player, see what he's been up to in the meantime. We see a pylon actually really close here for Freedom that could potentially be an issue here for Kenji. We see an NG Bay coming out, and more barracks being added on 2 tech labs. Is that STEM being produced? Yep, STEM is in fact being produced, so it's a good upgrade to have. Factory sitting pretty on its own. Not planning to go into any sort of crazy mech. This NG Bay's down. I assume it was for the missile turrets for the Oracle that he saw, but again, no missile turrets are produced. We're not seeing an upgrade come out, so I'm kind of curious as to why the NG Bay was built. Double gas is down. He just needs to... he could actually start some upgrades here in the NG Bay. So unfortunately, KenjiMuyo not paying attention to that. Income-wise, we're starting to see actually our Terran player catch up with those mules. In fact, is actually in a pretty stable economic position. If he continues on in the game, he'll actually be all right, surprisingly. And a lot of stalkers are being produced here for Freedom, and the actual supply is caught up really. Yeah, it's really even game right now. So well done here by Kenji, although I'd say having probably a worse opening, was able to defend and able to just kind of macro up and put himself in a position that is relatively equal. All things considered, even though his opening gambit, I mean, it did deny some mining time, that's for sure, and it delayed a bit of Freedom's attention. A ton of proxy pylons coming out, though. We're seeing the Twilight Council on its way, but it's not like there's going to be any sort of storm out. I don't see a robo out either, and yeah, splash damage could be an issue going later into this game. There's a lot of stalkers, so maybe we'll just see Archons or DTs come out. That'd be kind of an interesting army composition. His hand goes off here by Kenji. He does have the medevacs out, so he can potentially do a drop, but there's not a lot of bio here. So it's not like he can really split his forces up or trying to really engage the Protoss player. He's going to find this one. Well, he did find a pylon, but loading up right in front of it was kind of hilarious. Upgrade-wise, we're starting to see that Pulse 1 attack now finally coming out for our Terran player. Realize that he does in fact have an NG Bay. Charge is coming out, and there we go. The Templar Archives is well along its way, but still is going to be a long time before Storm comes out. We're not seeing Blink, surprisingly, when there's so many Stalkers. Kind of an interesting choice. I do like Charge. Charge is a great upgrade, when you have a ton of zealots, but when you have this many stalkers, Blink would be great, because look, if he had Blink right now, well, he wouldn't have it right now, but if he'd started Blink, he would have the potential to pick off a lot of these medevacs, and he could potentially deny and protect himself from more drops. Anyways, the push here by Freedom is pulling our Terran player back by quite a bit. He is up in army supply, 53 army to 46 army supply. That means our Terran player is actually caught up and is actually ahead in economy now, with 55 workers compared to the 46. So Freedom just staying on 2 bases. We're seeing something come in here, and it looks like a Marauder was dropped. A few units, and actually the medevac getting taken out. Another Marauder coming from behind. Get that surrounded. Ooh, a big stim here coming out from Kenji. Forces going down here by Freedom, and the stalkers are so weak though against so many Marauders, and they're getting pulled apart. That's a lot of resources lost if we're looking at that. And yeah, it looks like our Terran player has in fact lost about half as many resources. We're seeing that huge production starting to kick in with all those barracks producing continuously, and that combat shield's about halfway done. Storm has just now begun, but like I said, that is nowhere near completion. Now he's getting a few more zealots to work in, which, I mean, zealots are great in this sort of this sort of engagement, but you need a lot more zealots, and you shouldn't have lost all those stalkers. Now having to force to run away. Charge has completed. Stim Vial is going to cancel his 3rd base, and I don't know if Freedom's going to be able to defend. We did see some sort of I don't know. There was some sort of a ping. I thought there was a warping going on at that pylon, but yeah, we're seeing Freedom attempt to repel this Terran aggression, but with the stutter step coming out by KenjiMuyo, I don't know if there's going to be enough production here for Freedom to defend this. We have 5 gateways. It looks like Storm is about 3/4 of the way done, but oh, we're throwing down a Templar or a Dark Templar shrine. Interesting. The scan goes down. Also, please let me know if the audio is working. I did see someone come in and mention that audio was an issue, so hopefully audio is fine. Anyways, looks like KenjiMuyo is really starting to break through all the production here of Freedom, and with that, I mean, he had such a strong beginning. He had defended the early aggression here from Kenji. He was ahead economically. He had an expansion up far more quickly, but he never really pushed that aggression. And admittedly, it's a little bit difficult on Nimbus when you have this ramp, but you can tear down the debris and try and do some form of an attack while you take your 3rd base and continue on economically. But instead, we saw Freedom just kind of sit back, relax, felt like he maybe had the advantage, or maybe even felt like he was behind after that Widow Mine attack, even though he didn't take too much damage, other than the delayed mining time. But Freedom now getting pushed up into his technically natural, but I guess now his main base. With a few cannons here to defend and a couple zealots, he's trying to maybe just get enough for the money storms. Is he going to actually get it? There we go. Oh, that almost makes it worth it right there. Oh, there we go. But still, not going to be enough to win the game. Could have Photon Overcharge if you wanted to. There we go. So many weak medevacs, so much weak bio. But again, he just pulls back. He's still got 2 bases. He somehow lost that that command center. Didn't lift it up. That's a slight mistake there. He could have kept that 3rd base. Great BM1. Glad everything's working out for you, buddy. Just wanted to make sure the sound was fine. Oh, it's on and off. I'm sorry, that's got to be an issue on your end, fortunately. Anyways, it looks like Freedom is going to be breathing his last few gasps of air as Kenji stims up. And then Archons are good, but again, not that good. And this Nexus being focus fired down. Photon Overcharge just ends, and all these workers have no place to go except to dead. And the Triumph Bio, Kenji, destroying the last couple of buildings here. I don't know if Freedom has reconciled the loss. It looks like he's going to start his own embassy here on the top right-hand side. Hope they can start anew. Convince them that, you know, no, you've never met this population before. We're a new tribe. We're a new tribe. You got to work things out with us. But no. KenjiMuyo's forces are on the patrol for blood. See him scout around to try and find these extra bases because he knows something's up. Not completely aware of it yet, but eventually that SCV is on the path here to find that last Nexus. We'll see. Oh, and a scan goes down as well by Kenji. Freedom is naked and afraid. He's calling out the GGG. 1 extra G. So it was just that good of a game. And congratulations to Kenji, man. Sweet little random v random game. All right. man, I felt like Freedom had it at that game. Again, I just want to reiterate, he defended the Widowmine drop. That Widowmine opener from Kenji, you commit a lot to it, right? He didn't get a command center out as quickly. He was putting gas and other resources into that drop. It was even a little bit late, I felt, and then Freedom was able to defend it. Admittedly, he lost maybe one or two, or I guess maybe like 3 or 4 probes to the Widowmine trying to set off the detonation, and then maybe lost a little bit of mining time for sure. But comparatively to how much that Kenji lost from doing that opener, he should have been really far ahead and just kind of pressed the advantage and been able to take the game. But instead what we saw was that he just kind of sat back, and then Kenji got up to a really slow 2-base economy, started doing drops, was pressuring Freedom, and then when Freedom tried to move out, he ended up getting pretty much punished for it with that really stalker heavy force not really reacting to what his opponent was building. That's kind of how the game went. But yeah, we'll be getting another game here shortly. For those of you in chat, feel free to say hello. I'm SC Militia, casting the games tonight for Storm Gaming. And we have tons more matches lined up, so let me see. Hopefully we can get those started up ASAPly. But if not, hey, we'll get them going soon. The next map will hopefully, or the next match will hopefully be a ZVZ